Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we're going to discuss DEVONthink 3 Workspaces, and Abigail will share her screen to walk you through the process.
Yeah, but before we dive into that, it's been a while since we've chatted, Ada.
Yes,
So I just wanted to check in with you and find out how you've been spending your time. We're in an unprecedented moment
for sure.
in global history, or maybe I shouldn't say in global history. We've had pandemics in global history before, but certainly in our lifetime.
For sure.
And so, what have you been up to?
Yeah, wow, well, thanks for the question. How I've been spending my time, what a great question. I think if I were to summarize, working obviously, but sort of the additional bits have been some minor home improvement projects. So those have been fun, and it's been fun to see how small changes, paint colors and little things like that can make a big difference. And then in addition, I've started a new project that really has been inspired by a question that we received by a DEVONthink for Historian student. And the person purchased a course, and then they described a frustration that they had for their particular niche in history. And in particular, they were frustrated by creating citations for genealogical research. And so with that, I sort of tapped my husband, who's also an engineer, on the shoulder, and I said, Stan, I think we could do something really cool here to help, save people time. And in addition to using DEVONthink and creating these citations. So he and we created a web application that helps make the process faster. So if anyone's watching does genealogical research and maybe have some frustrations in generating citations, I would encourage you to check out our website, Genealogy Citation Builder. The link is in the comments for this video. And if you do that research and you have any frustrations or challenges in creating citations, check out the website or pop a question in the comments. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are and what your concerns are. So that's what I've been up to in terms of the extra stuff I've been doing while I've been social distancing, the ways I've been spending my time. How about you? What have you been up to, and how are you spending your time?
I've been doing a lot of research, actually, working on a new, I guess we can say it's a book project. I hope it'll be a book. So
very cool, very cool.
Yeah, but I'm really excited you're working on this because I've been using census data quite a bit, just like a way to fill in background for some of the people I'm writing about, flesh out like where they were born, their backstories a little bit. And the citation for those kinds of materials can be really frustrating. So I'll have to go check out
please do
Genealogy Citation Builder.
Yes. We have fun little templates for a variety of different types of genealogical research documents that we help people create correctly formatted citations really fast. So yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm excited about this book project.
Yeah, well, me too. Back in 2 years. So what have I been up to? I rent, so home improvement has looked a little bit different for me, but now that you mention it, the other night I became completely just possessed by this box that was sitting in a closet, and I was like, why is this here? Why do I have any of this stuff? It turned out it was full of all of my notebooks from grad school, like from every seminar I'd taken, and like all of my comps notes. I kept the comps notes.
Some things are sentimental, yes.
Yeah, everything else went in the recycling bin. I was just like, I haven't looked at this in years. I'm never gonna wake up one day and just be like, I must know what I was thinking in my US Pro Sem X book. So I chucked all that, but at the bottom of the box, I actually ended up finding a bunch of photocopies of archival documents. Most of them were like documents that were too many pages to sit and like photograph with my iPhone. So I guess I just had them copy them, and then I most of them I knew I had scanned on like a Xerox machine and put into my database. But at the bottom, I freaked out actually. I found this document that I was just like, oh my God, I don't think I wrote about this in my dissertation. And it's like right on a topic that's like just like the crux of this chapter, that's the crux of this dissertation. And
yikes.
Oh my God. And so I like freaked out and go running to my computer. I open up my dissertation database. It turns out I had taken like really thorough notes on it. Like I guess I had read it on paper and then I'd taken notes on it.
Okay.
And so I had the notes, and then once I saw those, I was like, oh, okay. I remember now thinking that it wasn't as good as it seemed, and it was a little redundant to other things I had.
I see. That's a bit of a panic, though.
I was panicked. I was like, what if this would have changed my whole argument?
Yeah.
So, I had this moment, like this wave of relief, but then actually after, I kind of was like, no, this is exactly like the point of why we created DEVONthink for historians.
Yes.
So that you had this really great workflow and system so that these items didn't end up in the bottom of a box, so that you find them, I don't know, 5 years later and have a panic attack. But yeah, because I realize now that even though it at the time it might not have seemed super relevant, I wish I had this whole time the OCR like text searchable version of this document in my database, because what if I was looking for something unrelated, a name, a place, and I searched, I don't know, just pulling a place out of my butt, like Tucson, and there was a reference to Tucson in that document. It would have come up, and maybe that would have been really helpful.
Yeah.
So I have regrets that I never put it in, and I only can imagine that I didn't do it because I was being lazy, and that I thought that like I had done enough, and I hadn't. So it was just it was like a good reminder as to the value of databases and like why we do this.
Yes.
But the point of this whole story is the box is now gone. Everything has been either thrown away or filed somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I have like more space in that closet for like knitting stuff and workout stuff, and feel, you were talking about like changing paint colors.
Yes.
Like, changes the mood. Like that room now, because the closet is holding more stuff, like feels so much more open and spacious.
Yeah.
And I feel a great lifting of my spirits. So yeah. So anyway, that's how I'm doing.
That's amazing. I think it's great, one, because as you were chatting, it reminds me a lot of the life-changing magic of tidying up that I read a few years ago that changed my life. And so it's fun to identify what sparks joy. And so that's kind of cool. But then also it's interesting how, this is a great example of why having a solid workflow around your database can be really helpful, years later, to calm your nerves and your stress level and to kind of boost your confidence about the thoroughness of your work. So that is also a really cool example. But speaking of your work, we intended to chat about DEVON3 Workspaces in this video. Went on a little bit of a side track, but let's talk about those workspaces, because it's yet another way that your work, you can make working in DEVONthink, DEVONthink 3 at least, so much easier and faster.
Yeah, so why don't I go ahead and I'm gonna share my screen real quick.
Yeah.
So what I'm about to show you is just a sample database I've created. Clearly, it's tiny.
It's okay.
Most of my databases are to quote Zoolander, at least 3 times this size. So I'm gonna ask all of y'all who are out there watching to imagine the scenario I'm about to walk through in a much bigger database, possibly like ones you have created and use regularly.
Mm-hmm.
So In most of my databases, like on a regular day, I might be toggling through 10, 20, 30, I mean, lots and lots of different documents. And that's great. That's why we have DEVONthink and why we love it. However, there are times when I'm writing a story, let's say here, this is one about the healing totem at the National Library of Medicine. And I've just written this little story, and I had a bunch of documents that I was consulting. And now I'm having to transition, like I'm in the middle of this, and I need to transition to working on something else. There's a deadline, whatever. So I want to really quickly call up the workspace, the documents for that story I'm on a deadline for. Let's say it's Our Lady of the Rockies. Clearly, I have not written that much about it. So what I like to do often when I'm writing is I open up, a window. So I like to have it sort of bigger. And then I like to open up the source I'm working from. So here are the two, and I would have them kind of together. So here's the original text. You can see, I think I have annotations in it.
We can only see one of your screens, or at least I can only see one of your screens. Did you share your whole desktop?
I didn't. Let me switch that really quick. Thanks for letting me know.
No problem.
Okay. How about now? Oop, now. Can you see both of them?
Yeah.
Okay, groovy. So, so you can see I, have already annotated this document. I have, I meant to click that. I have created a super annotation for it, and I have taken some notes. And now I could go and, like, as Finn says, smart thoughts, and write, based off of this source.
Yeah.
So, okay, I've been writing. I need to go back to doing something else, but I know I'm going to want to come back to this and quickly at some point in the future. So what I can do is hit go at the top.
Yep.
And you'll see there is, if you scroll down towards the bottom, there is something called Workspaces. Yes. So what I've done is created a workspace for Finn and Our Lady story. If you hit update, this is not going to do anything because it's already set for this, but you can change it. So all I did to do this was I hit add, I created a name, hit OK, and then now anytime, so say I close this, and I close this, and I work on a different story. I'm back to working on the healing totem. All right, now I want to go back to Our Lady of the Rockies. I hit go. And voila, they open right back up.
Oh, fun.
So let me show I'll show how to do this from the beginning. So say I finished working on this chapter, and now I want to basically do the same thing, but with this article. So I will resize it. Okay, so now I have them next to each other, and I want to create a workspace for these two. So I'll go add, and this one is Monday plus Our Lady. Hit OK. And it's right here. And so, I don't even have to hit go and navigate here. I can use option command? Yeah, option shift command 2.
It's number 2, yeah.
So that's great to have a nice keyboard shortcut. So if there are just documents that you find yourself using over and over, and you want to be able to sort of pull them up pretty instantaneously, Workspaces are a great way to do it. You can have lots and lots of them. It's pretty easy to edit. So say I'm done with these two. All I have to do is hit remove. Okay, now they're gone. I can create something new instead.
Very cool. So I love how this is like another step to your workflow. Sort of in the course, we talk a lot about getting documents into DEVONthink, and the writing part in terms of once you're writing, automatically generating citations and other things. But what I love, this is a great complement, these workspaces, sort of super, supercharging your workflow in terms of the process of actually writing. So
Yeah.
I'm always looking at these documents. I find myself going in the database, putting these two documents next to each other, and sometimes I want to switch. You can create workspaces so that you can make that switch in way fewer clicks. I always find that a great opportunity for streamlining your workflows is when you find yourself doing the same thing over and over again. It's like, okay, after you do something a couple times, you're like, oh, I need to do this quite often. How can I make this better? How can I make it faster? How can I automate it? And so these workspaces are a great little way. I also love how you integrated something that's from the course into the sort of your workflow when it came to the workspaces, which are the super annotations. So you had your document, you annotated that document in DEVONthink. All beforehand, you used the super annotations that we provide in the super user guide. And then after that was done, you can then add on the workspaces to take that annotation and put it into your final product. So cool, so cool.
Yeah, actually, you've made me think of two different things. So one is I have actually, so that document that I was lamenting in our earlier discussion was quite long. And I can imagine one great use for the workspace is if you have a long document like that, and it's going to take you a while to read and annotate and take notes on it. So you could create a workspace where you put your super annotation file on the right and the document on the left. And then, although it is easy using the pane to type into the annotation box so they're side by side, sometimes you just want it bigger. You want like the full annotation file, especially when it gets really long like that. So that's a great use of creating a workspace. Then you can kind of like take some notes, go do something else, come back really quickly. The other thing I guess I should mention is why am I even writing in DEVONthink? We often talk about writing in Scrivener or in Word. Yeah. I do find when I'm writing something very short, I really enjoy writing directly into DEVONthink, and then I'll move it over to a Word document. And that's just for this very reason I've shown. It's nice to just have everything together in DEVONthink. You can absolutely, using Mac, put a document, tile a document to the left and tile a Word document to the right in a desk, like a separate desktop, basically. But sometimes, it's just easier to have it all together in DEVONthink, and I just really like that. I will often, we show in the course how to use bookends reference ID numbers to do our citations really quickly and let the the reference manager do our citations for us rather than us manually doing them. I'll do the same brackets into the rich text file I'm writing in DEVONthink, and then once I just move it over to a Word document, I can scan it and it'll create those full citations for me, like that. I love it. So it's. I realized I should probably clarify that.
No.
We do talk a lot about Scrivener, and I love Scrivener for longer projects. I'm like ride or die Scrivener.
But it's fun to know that there are all these different ways to use these different tools. And just because you have DEVONthink or Scrivener or even text edit or whatever on your machine, there are so many different ways that you can use them. And there's so many different features that you can use in different combinations to help you with the work that you're doing. So it's fun to see this at a glance. It's like, okay, I can create this thing. It's called Workspace. It pops up stuff. You're like, okay, fine. But when you can see it in use and realize how often you're going between potentially the same files and how fast it can make that transition, you're like, ooh, this is very exciting. So I always find it, maybe I'm a little bit of a tech geek though, so I always like these combinations. Very cool. Thank you so much for showing us that and having us have a little bit more of a peek into your day-to-day life in doing historical research in DEVONthink. Anything else you'd like to add to this video before we wrap up?
No, I mean, I guess I just like, I hope everyone out there is healthy and safe.
Yes,
and,
very much so.
Yeah, taking care of themselves and the people that they love around them.
Yes.
Definitely a trying time. So, yeah, and then as always, we would be failed YouTubers if we didn't say, please subscribe if you haven't already, hit the like button.
Yes,
all of that jazz. Yeah, we have to say that to be legit. But thank you. The support is invaluable.
Yes, we definitely greatly appreciate everyone that watches these videos, as well as all of our subscribers. So please do subscribe and click the like button. We wish you and everyone that you hold dear happiness and safety and health. And if you're interested in learning more about our course, the link is in the description. And yeah, we wish you the best, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.